Brokers Alliance and the National Insurance Clearinghouse present the Business Insurance Zone, a Bravo video event. Broadcasting in HD 1080p on Vimeo, YouTube, the Insurance Newsnet, Agent Navigator, BrokersAlliance.com, and on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the Insurance Forum. And now your host, the whiz of the biz, Steve Savant. Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone, the talk show that spotlights insurance in your practice, keeps you up to speed on insurance news and products, features insurance strategies from top advisors. Get in the zone, the Business Insurance Zone.
Our email address is thebiz@brokersalliance.com, or you can call us at 1-800-290 extension 147 for any of your quotes or questions regarding to DI, LTC, annuities, long-term care. Hey, even life insurance, our forte. And remember, any strategies or ideas that you hear on the show, I'm not a legal advisor or a tax consultant, so you'll want to check with your CPA and attorney. And if you're with a broker-dealer, always want to check in with your compliance officer before you go forward with any of the strategies you hear on our show today. But today, we have Dr. Barb Provost from Chicago, Illinois with us again from Provost Consulting. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, we're having Dr. Barb on again because we are trying to introduce our male-dominant field force. 98% of the United States financial advisors, the dominant view is male. Yes. And it's my age group, the baby boomers. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to tell them, we're trying to give them the heads up, right? Mm-hmm. This just in, over the next 10 years, the transfer of wealth in the United States is coming to the baby boomers, but the person in charge is your mother and your sister, I have to say. Because most of the gentlemen that have passed, mom is either in a care home or she's being taken care of by her daughter, and they're making the decisions now on the money issues. And we're just trying to give you a heads up that we see this coming. This is the largest major population. And we have noticed one trend, which is a very scary trend, Barb, which is 87% of all women fire their financial advisors. Yeah. Scary. Now that's scary. Yeah. When dad dies, mom gets a new guy. Right. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's because, why?
Because her needs have not been attended to around the financials.
Well, there's a mistake.
Right.
We've been talking about this. If you missed a couple of our other shows, if you have Dr. Barb on before, please feel free to go out to our archives on our on-demand section of our website or on Vimeo or YouTube. We keep them all there. And you can look at some of the things that we've been talking about. If you want to be a player in any of the areas of retirement, charitable giving, estate planning, you're going to have to up your game and learn a whole new language. Right. I usually say on our show, welcome to the Business Insurance Zone. Perhaps today I should say, welcome to the Estrogen Zone. So we're here with Dr. Barb. Before we get going, Dr. Barb, I got to say, in the newspaper, and this was just last week, and this is a late April edition of USA Today, on the Forum 9A page, and if you go ahead and request this at thebiz@brokersalliance.com, I'll send you the article. It's all about investing in women. Right. And it is a great article. If you haven't read it yet, you need to up your game and read this. This is a great editorial piece. It'll take you about 5 minutes to read it. It should change what you're thinking about. Actually, it agrees with so much we're talking about today.
Yes, it does.
It's huge. And one of the other things I noticed, I had an email, and in the email it says, women fear retirement more than men. And for good reason. Listen to these statistics. I mean, I just can't make this stuff up. This is right out of public domain. By 2030, 54% of 73 million American baby boomers will be women. That's not far away. Nope. And then a healthy female at 65 has a 67% chance that she'll live to 90. Yep. Wow. I mean, think of that. A 38% chance now she'll live to 95. And then lastly, 60% of middle-class retirees can expect to outlive their assets, especially women, to outlive their assets. We have a great challenge and great solutions, but we don't know how to talk. And sometimes when I think about engaging women, to us as males, I call it the alien nation, because I just don't know how to talk about it. And here's one good example. Dr. Barb, we had a client the other day, and I think I told you this story. We had a advisor take me with him. I was the product expert. And he took me with him, and he introduced himself to this family, wonderful family. And he spent the next 15, 20 minutes pontificating on all the code issues and all the information and everything else. And it's not that he didn't do a good job, and he did a good job, but we're on the first interview, and generally, I don't want to be sitting there quoting the code on my first interview just to tell people how much I know.
Right.
They already have some degree of trust in you because they've allowed you to meet with them.
Sure.
When he was done with his 15 minutes of monologuing, I must say, and it was a monologue, and it was directed strictly at the male, he said, "Steve, would you like to add anything?" I said, "I would." I looked at the male and I said, "I promise to defeat estate taxes in every way legally possible under the code." And I turned to the female counterpart and I said, "And I will divide the net proceeds of your estate equally across your children and grandchildren unless you tell me different." That's all I gave, 2 promises. I addressed both the primary psychological need of the male and the primary psychological need of the female. How I do that for her, don't know how that's going to happen, but we know that that's what I have to address. So when I look at this and I'm thinking, it's not about information or establishing my credentials, or those are all good, nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But ultimately, I have to address her needs and what's important to her. And if you miss that maternal aspect of estate planning, the one example I'm giving, you're not going to get the case.
Right.
So talk a little bit about, we're going down things that women notice that guys will never, I'm trying to awaken to your world, Dr. Barb. You're trying to walk me through it, but I'm telling you, I think I'm brain dead. I looked at this list and I went, you're kidding me.
Right. Well, women notice everything. I'm sure you've been out with your wife and come home and she's told you things that she noticed that you probably never even noticed. Either someone got her hair cut, or maybe they had a new painting in their house, or something that you had no idea that was even...
Yes, I was not only oblivious to it, but I have male glaucoma. I see nothing unless it's right in front of my face. Look, my wife sends me to the refrigerator and says it's right there, and I'll look. Can't find it. She comes over to the refrigerator, and it's right in front of me.
Right.
So remember, when you're being, trying to help the male contingent of our audience, have mercy on us.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, know that women notice everything, and that's very important. And things that you might think are not that important are very important. For instance, if you show up into an appointment and you're late, you may have already blown the seal.
So tardiness is an issue?
Absolutely, yes.
For women?
Yeah, women are busy people. And if you say I'll be there at 10 and you're not there till 10:15, 10:20, without at least a phone call that says I'm stuck in traffic or whatever the problem is, they're already disgruntled that you're late.
Because you didn't take the time to be on time.
Right. You didn't respect the time either.
Okay,
so
it's
that's
an
important.
issue of respect. Okay.
Also, when you showed up, are you well kept? Are you pulled together?
I'm well kept?
Yes. Well.
Or did you say kept?
Kept. Are you neat and pulled together?
Hold on. Just in case the pronunciation is losing it, it's K-E-M-P-T? Kept. I'm sorry. That's a new word for Steve. Kept. Carry on. I don't want to drop, but sometimes on our show, you learn new words. Like 2 weeks ago, somebody asked me, what was pedantic? I used the word pedantic.
Yeah.
Oh, we're a vocabulary show.
That's great.
Okay, kept.
So what that means is, are you neat? Are you clean? Are you pulled together? Because the way that you appear to your client tells them a lot about what the relationship is going to be in terms of...
Am I okay?
I think you look smashing.
Smashing? How Brit of you.
On the same note, you need to be neat, but not too flashy. So not a lot of jewelry. That can come off as being a little bit too... Like
no
flashy.
No bling?
Minimum bling, I think.
Minimum bling.
Yeah.
Well, wedding ring's pretty bling. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
No earrings, though.
I would dismiss the earrings for that appointment.
Okay.
How are your shoes? May sound silly, but are they polished? Are they clean?
And ladies and gentlemen, not that I want to go on camera on this, but they are totally polished.
Okay. How about your fingernails? Are they cleaned and trimmed? And fingernails are very important because you're going to be looking at documents, pointing to things, handing them a pen, maybe accepting a cup of coffee or something, and people do see your nails.
Now, I don't know if I see people's nails, but women see people's nails.
Yes, they will notice that. How about your breath? Do you have fresh breath? Do you have coffee breath? I mean, all of that is important. You're going to be talking to them over the table.
I have Eclipse, and by the way, that's a shameless plug, and if they want to sponsor our show, I'm okay with it. I carry this, and I think I'm becoming immune to them. You know, I mean, I have to find a new breath mint. But yes, I mean that's an important thing.
I mean, they're going to be looking at documents together. You might be sitting in close proximity,
like
explaining
we are, Dr.
things.
Barb?
Yes, and so clean breath is always important. And just some people have if they smoke in their car, they might smell like cigarette smokes or something like that. That's never appealing either. So. And the other thing is you don't want to cover that up with cologne. So you don't want to overwhelm with cologne as well. Mm-hmm. And all those things, it might sound silly, but all those together, that's the package. What you're selling is first and foremost yourself.
Well, wait a minute. You just hit a key issue that all of our advisors do totally buy in. We've heard guys like Brian Tracy, the Sultan of sales, right?
Yeah.
His whole thing is image, first contact interview. Your perception of that person is huge going in. Guys might give you a pass, but not women. Not women. Mm-mm. Okay, so it's important for us to be on our game.
Right.
This sounds. I'm so sorry, Dr. Barb, but this sounds like corporate courtship to me.
Well, I think in many ways it is, because you're selling a product that is very important to a woman. It's about the care and security of her children and of her family and of herself and of her husband. Those are the most important people to her in her life. She wants to know that she's with somebody she can trust, somebody who has their business together, and that somebody she can contact at any time with the correct answer.
And some of these things are going to set the tone.
Absolutely.
Well, we're trying to set the tone here at the Biz so that we can actually do a really good job at engaging our female clients. Listen, again, you can call us at 1-800-290-7226, extension 147. You can hop out on our website, www.brokersalliance.com, or write me at thebiz@brokersalliance.com. Always willing to take your email. Love to hear from you. I'm Steve Savant. You're listening to the Business Insurance Zone. We're going to be right back with more from Dr. Barb. We have more points to cover.
Yes, we do.
And boy, I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised as I was.
Steve Savant here. For years I've heard that less than 2% of all term life insurance ends in a claim. That's not many, and clients had to die to receive the benefits. That's the old term insurance. Now start selling the new term insurance. The term insurance that covers your client through a chronic illness, a catastrophic event, or a terminal diagnosis, and pays their monthly premium during extended periods of unemployment. What term life insurance can do all that? Western Reserve Alliance Advantage Term with living benefits. No other term insurance product bundles so many solutions to life's unexpected problems. And all in one policy. So for more information, call Brokers Alliance 1-800-290-7226. Stop selling the old term. Start selling the new.